अबाउट नेटवर्क में एक ये पॉइंट है कि टेलीकम्युनिकेशन वैल्यू कैसे प्रोवाइड करता है. RTO, रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग बिजनेस रिलेशनशिप्स, टाइम कंप्रेशन, ओवरकमिंग जोग्राफिकल डिस्पर्शन. रिस्ट्रक्चरिंग बिजनेस रिलेशनशिप्स, टाइम कंप्रेशन, ओवरकमिंग जोग्राफिकल डिस्पर्शन. तो टेलीकम्युनिकेशन we provide these value through the following impact. टाइम कंप्रेशन. टेलीकम्युनिकेशन एनेबल करता है फर्म टू ट्रांसमिट रॉ डेटा एंड इंफॉर्मेशन क्विकली एंड एक्यूरेटली बिटवीन रिमोट साइजेस. टाइम कैसे कंप्रेशन होता है? टेलीकम्युनिकेशन एनेबल करता है एक फर्म टू ट्रांसमिट रॉ डेटा एंड इंफॉर्मेशन क्विकली एंड एक्यूरेटली बिटवीन रिमोट साइट. ओवरकमिंग जोग्राफिकल डिस्पर्शन. Telecommunications enable an organization with geographically remote sites to function to a degree as though these sites were a single unit. The firm can then reap benefits of scale and scope which would otherwise be unobtainable. Next is restructuring business relationships. Telecommunications make it possible to create systems which restructure the interactions of the people within a firm as well as firm's relationship with its customers. Operational efficiency may be raised by eliminating intermediaries from various business processes. So telecommunications may provide values, that is time compression, overcoming geographical dispersion, enable an organization with geographically remote sites to function to a degree as though these sites were a single unit. The firm can then reap the benefits of scale and scope which would otherwise be unobtainable. Restructuring business relationships. Telecommunications make it possible to create systems which restructure the interactions of people within a firm as well as firm's relationship with its customers. Operational efficiency may be raised by eliminating intermediaries from various business processes. नेक्स्ट, व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ अ कंप्यूटर नेटवर्क. अभी नेटवर्क याद रखना, ये बहुत सारे लोग बात कर रहे हैं ना, नेटवर्क एक दूसरे से बात करें, क्या हो रहा है, कम्युनिकेशन हो रहा है, यूज़र कम्युनिकेशन. बात करते करते क्या शेयर करें, रिसोर्सेज को. सो रिसोर्सेज शेयरिंग और इन्फॉर्मेशन को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करते हैं. तो डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड नेचर ऑफ इन्फॉर्मेशन. देन कंप्यूटेशनल पावर, रिलायबिलिटी. So, what are the benefits of a computer network? User communication, resource sharing, distributed nature of information, computational power, and then you have your reliability. First one is distributed nature of information. There would be many situations where information must be distributed geographically. For example, in case of a banking company, accounting information of various customers could be distributed across various branches, but to make consolidated balance sheet at the year end, it would need networking to access information from all the branches. Resource sharing. Data could be stored at a central location and can be shared across different systems. Even resource sharing could be in terms of sharing peripherals like printers, which are normally shared by many systems. Example, in case of CPS, bank data is stored at the central data center and could be accessed by all the branches as well as ATM. Next is computational power. The computational power of the most of the applications would increase drastically through load balancing when the processing is distributed amongst the computer system. For example, processing in an ATM machine in a bank is distributed between ATM machine and the central computer system in a bank, thus reducing load on both. Reliability. Many critical applications should be available 24/7. If such applications are run across different systems which are distributed across network, then the reliability of the applications would be high. For example, in a city there could be multiple ATM machines, so that if one ATM fails, one can withdraw money from the other ATM. User communication. Network allows users to communicate using email, news group, video conferencing, etc. So these are the benefits of computer network. Next, the रियल वर्ल्ड नेटवर्क्स हेल्प मॉडल कंप्यूट ईच ऑफ दीज नेटवर्क. तो हर एक नेटवर्क जो होता है वो इज मॉडल टू एड्रेस द फॉलोइंग बेसिक इशू. तो हर नेटवर्क मॉडल इज एड्रेस टू the following basic issues: routing, bandwidth, contention, resilience. Routing, it refers to the process of deciding on how to communicate the data from source to destination in a network. In this, data is transmitted in the form of data packets using internet protocols or IP address. So what is routing? It refers to the process of deciding on how to communicate the data from source to destination in a network. In this, data is transferred in the form of data packets using internet protocol or IP address. Bandwidth, it refers to the amount of data. Kitna data can be sent across a network in a given time. The lesser the bandwidth, the lesser is the data transferred and slower the website loads. Contention, it refers to a situation that arises when there is a conflict for some common resources in the network. It refers to a situation. Contention क्या है? Situation है that arises when there is a conflict for some resource in a network. For example, network contention could arise when two or more computer systems try to communicate at the same time. Resilience, it refers to the ability of a network to recover from any kind of error like connection failure, loss of data, etc. तो resilience भी एक issue है. Routing, it refers to the process of deciding on how to communicate the data from source to destination in a network. And this data is transferred in the form of data packets using internet protocol or IP address. Bandwidth, it refers to the amount of data which can be sent across a network in a given time. The lesser the bandwidth, lesser is the data transferred and slower the website loads. Contention, it refers to a situation that arises when there is a conflict for some common resource in a network. For example, network contention could arise when two or more computer systems try to communicate at the same time. Resilience, it refers to the ability of a network to cover from any kind of error like connection failure, loss of data, etc. Network can be of two types: connection oriented networks and connection less network. Connection oriented network, when a connection is first established between the sender and receiver, then the data is exchanged like it happens in case of telephone networks. तो वो connection oriented network है जहाँ पे पहले connection को establish करना पड़ता है between the sender and receiver, and then data is exchanged like it happens in the case of telephone network. Connectionless network है where no prior connection is made before the data exchange. No prior connection is made before the data exchanges. Data which is being exchanged in fact has a complete contact information of recipient, and at the each intermediate destination it is decided how to proceed further like it happens in case of postal networks. So connectionless networks में क्या होता है? Where no prior connection is made before data exchanges. Data which is being exchanged in fact has a complete contact information of recipient, and at each intermediate destination it is decided how to proceed further like it happens in case of a protocol postal network. Each component, namely the computer in a computer network, is called a node. तो computer को in a computer network is called as node. Network and communication system, they consist of both physical devices and software that links the various pieces of hardware and then transfers the data from one physical location to another. Through telecommunications, this value may increase in the efficiency of the operation, improve the effectiveness of the management, and innovations in the marketplace. Computer network का है? Computer network का है? A collection of computers and other hardware interconnected by communication channels that allow sharing of resources and information, where at least one process in one device can send receive data to or from at least one process residing in a remote device. Then the two devices are said to be in a network. What are the disadvantages of database management system? Cost and security. Implementing a DBMS in terms of both system and user training can be expensive and time consuming, especially in large enterprises. Training requirements alone can be quite costly. Security, even with the safeguards in place, it may be possible for some unauthorized users to access the database. If one gets access to database, then it could be an all or nothing proposition. What are the advantages of DBMS? तो आप ये चीज़ आप ध्यान रखना कि ठीक है, पहला पॉइंट क्या लिखोगे? व्हाट आर द एडवांटेजेस ऑफ DBMS? आप इतने जन इधर देख लो, ये जन, ये इधर चुपके बैठा, ये वाला, ये वाला, ये वाला, ये वाला, ये वाला. परमिटिंग डेटा शेयरिंग, ये अलाउ करते हैं लोगों को डेटा शेयर करने का. सो फर्स्ट वन इज परमिटिंग डेटा शेयरिंग. और डेटा को जो है वो रिसाइकल बिन में रखते हैं. तो जो जो डबल इधर 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 डबल डबल हो उसको डुप्लीकेट्स को डिलीट कर सकते हैं. सो मिनिमाइजिंग डेटा रिडंडेंसी. व्हाट बोला मैंने? मिनिमाइजिंग डेटा रिडंडेंसी. और बहुत जन लोग आते हैं तो इट इज़ यूज़र फ्रेंडली. इट इज़ यूज़र फ्रेंडली. फॉर ये बंदा क्या कर रहा है? फाइल एंड प्रोग्राम एंड फाइल कंसिस्टेंसी. फॉर फिर ये वाला क्या कर रहा है? यूज़र ID है, पासवर्ड मांगता है. तो इंटीग्रिटी कैन बी maintained. Then you have so many computers, so faster application development, activity program or data independence. Activity program or data independence. So I hope it is clear what are the advantages of database management system: permitting data sharing, minimizing data redundancy, user friendly, program and file consistency, faster application development, achieving program or data independence, and integrity can be maintained, right? So this is all about data resource. First one is permitting data sharing. One of the major advantage of DBM is that the same information can be made available to different users. Minimizing data redundancy in DBMS, duplication of information or redundancy, if not eliminated, carefully controlled or reduced. That is, there is no need to repeat the same data repeatedly. Minimizing redundancy significantly reduce the cost of storing information on the storage devices. Integrity can be get. Data integrity is maintained by having accurate, consistent and up-to-date data. Updates and changes to the data only must be made in one place, that is in DBMS, ensuring integrity. Program and file consistency. Using a DBMS, file formats and programs are standardized. The level of consistency across files and programs makes it easier to manage data when multiple programmers are involved, as the same rules and guidelines may apply across all types of data. Next is user friendly. DBMS makes the data access and manipulation easier for the user. DBMS also reduces the reliance of users on computer experts to meet their data needs. Improve security. Allows multiple users to access the same data resource in a controlled manner by defining the security constraints. Some source of information should be protected or secured and only viewed by select individuals. Using passwords, DBMS can use a restricted data access to only those who should see it. Security will not be improved in a data when appropriate access privileges are allotted to prohibit unauthorized modification of data. Achieving program or data independence in DBMS, data does not reside in applications, but database program and data are independent of each other. Faster application development. In the case of deployment of DBMS, application development becomes fast. The data is already there in the databases. Application development must think of only the logic required to retrieve the data in a way the user needs it. नेक्स्ट इज डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम. क्या होता है डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम को डिफाइन किया जा सकता है कि ऐसा सॉफ्टवेयर जो एड करता है इन ऑर्गेनाइजिंग, कंट्रोलिंग एंड यूजिंग द डेटा नीडेड बाय द एप्लीकेशन प्रोग्राम. तो जैसे एप्लीकेशन प्रोग्राम को डेटा चाहिए उस तरीके से ऑर्गेनाइज, कंट्रोल और यूज़ करना डेटा. दे प्रोवाइड द फैसिलिटी टू क्रिएट एंड मेंटेन अ वेल ऑर्गेनाइज्ड डेटाबेस. क्या बोला? वेल ऑर्गेनाइज्ड डेटाबेस. दिस सिस्टम्स आर प्राइमरली यूज्ड टू डेवलप एंड एनालाइज सिंगल यूनिट डेटाबेस एंड आर नॉट मेंट टू बी शेयर्ड अक्रॉस अ नेटवर्क और इंटरनेट, but are instead installed on a device and work with a single user at a time. Various operations that can be performed on these files include adding new files to database, deleting existing files from database, inserting data in existing files, modifying data in existing files, deleting data in existing files, and retrieving or querying data from existing files. DBMS packages generally provide an interface to view and change the design of the database, create queries and develop depots. Commercially available DBMS are Oracle, MySQL, SQL servers, DB2, whereas Microsoft Access and Open Office Base are example of personal DBMS. क्या है? Microsoft Access and Open Office बेस. व्हाट इज़ अ डेटाबेस? वो हमने देखा. डेटाबेस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम क्या है? ऑर्गेनाइज करता है डेटाबेस को, कंट्रोल करता है डेटा को. डेटाबेस क्या है? डेटाबेस अ सेट ऑफ लॉजिकली इंटररिलेटेड ऑर्गेनाइज्ड कलेक्शन ऑफ डेटा. अ सेट ऑफ लॉजिकली interrelated organized collection of data is referred to as database. They are both operational data They are both operational data and non-operational data. The goal of many information systems is to transform data into information to generate knowledge that can be used for decision making. To do this, the system must be able to take data, put the data into context and provide tools for aggregation and analysis. Data क्या होता है? Data plural है of data. Raw bits and pieces of information है होता है with no context that can be either quantitative or qualitative. Quantitative data is numeric, the result of a measurement, count, some other mathematical calculation. Qualitative data is descriptive, जैसे कि Rabi read the color of so and so and everything blah blah blah. once we have put our data in context and aggregated and analyzed, we make use to make decisions for. ठीक है, data क्या है? Raw bits of piece of information है. Database क्या है? Set of logically interrelated organized collection of data is referred to as a data बेस. उसमें ऑपरेशनल डेटा भी हो सकता है, नॉन ऑपरेशनल डेटा भी हो सकता है. गोल क्या है? डेटा को ट्रांसफॉर्म करना इनटू इन्फॉर्मेशन टू जनरेट knowledge. And then you have your database management system and its advantages. So this is all about the components of the information system that we had just discussed regarding people, hardware, software, data, resource and network and communication system. Under communication we had telecommunications के impact or the values.